Imagine waking up in a place where thousands of people are living almost wall to wall, where homes rise over polluted water, mountains of garbage tower over the city, and abandoned skyscrapers become homes. These places aren't scenes from a disaster movie. They are real urban environments where people work, raise families, and struggle to survive every single day. From the crowded streets of Hong Kong to the floating communities of Lagos, we're about to enter 10 of the most extreme urban environments on Earth. And number 1 may be the most shocking of them all. Hong Kong, monster building. Hong Kong is known for its incredible skyline, but behind those skyscrapers is another world of extreme urban density. The famous monster building is made up of 5 connected residential blocks, creating a massive wall of concrete windows and balconies. Thousands of people live inside this enormous complex, with homes, shops, and everyday life packed into a surprisingly small space. From the outside, the building can look overwhelming, almost like a city trapped inside one structure. But behind every window is a different story: families having dinner, people going to work, and residents simply living their daily lives. With limited land and huge demand for housing, Hong Kong has learned to build upward rather than outward. And this is only the beginning. Next, we travel to Caracas, where an unfinished skyscraper was transformed into an extraordinary vertical community. Torre David, Caracas, Venezuela. In the heart of Caracas stands a building that was never meant to become a home. Torre David was designed as a modern financial complex, but construction stopped before it could be completed. Years later, people began moving into the unfinished structure, transforming empty concrete floors into apartments, shops, and spaces for everyday life. Without the infrastructure of a normal residential tower, residents had to create their own solutions for water, electricity, security, and transportation. Corridors and unfinished stairways became part of a completely improvised community. What was supposed to be a symbol of Caracas's economic future became something very different: a vertical neighborhood built inside an abandoned skyscraper. But the next place takes urban survival to an even more unusual level, where an entire community built its economy around something most people simply throw away: Manshiyat Nasser, Cairo, Egypt. On the outskirts of Cairo lies Manshiyat Nasser, a neighborhood famously known as Garbage City. For generations, the Zabaleen community has built its livelihood around collecting, sorting, and recycling huge amounts of Cairo's waste. The streets are filled with homes, workshops, vehicles, and mountains of recyclable material, creating an environment unlike almost anywhere else in the city. But behind the shocking images is a remarkable recycling system. Workers sort valuable materials by hand and send much of it back into the economy instead of allowing everything to end up in landfills. Yet living and working among so much waste also brings serious environmental and infrastructure challenges. And next, we leave the streets of Cairo and head onto the waters of Lagos, where an entire community has built its life above a lagoon. Makoko, Lagos, Nigeria. Just outside the busy city of Lagos lies Makoko, a unique community built partly over the waters of a lagoon. Here, wooden houses stand on stilts, narrow walkways connect homes, and boats often serve as the main form of transportation. For many residents, fishing and small local businesses are an important part of everyday life. But life on the water also brings serious challenges: limited sanitation, clean water, waste management, and basic infrastructure can make daily life extremely difficult. During heavy rain and flooding, the water that surrounds the community can quickly become a threat. From the outside, Makoko may look like a floating city, but for the people who live here, it is simply home. And next we move from water to a giant mountain made almost entirely of something every city produces: garbage. Ghazipur landfill, Delhi, India. On the outskirts of Delhi stands the Ghazipur landfill, a massive mountain of waste created by one of the world's largest urban populations. Day after day, garbage trucks bring enormous amounts of discarded material here, causing the landfill to rise higher and spread across the surrounding landscape. For waste workers, this mountain is also a workplace where valuable materials are searched for among tons of discarded rubbish. But the site has repeatedly faced problems with smoke, fires, foul odors, and pollution, affecting the environment and nearby communities. What looks like an endless mountain is actually a reminder of something cities rarely show us: the enormous amount of waste produced after we throw something away. And next we leave Delhi and enter one of America's most visible homelessness crises. Skid Row, Los Angeles, USA. In the heart of Los Angeles, surrounded by towering buildings and one of America's richest cities, lies Skid Row, a neighborhood that has become closely associated with homelessness and housing insecurity. For years, thousands of people have lived on its streets, in tents, shelters, and temporary spaces. The area also has shelters, outreach programs, healthcare services, and organizations working to help people rebuild their lives. But the scale of the crisis makes the problem incredibly difficult to solve. Behind the tents and crowded sidewalks are people facing very different challenges, from the lack of affordable housing to addiction, mental health struggles, and displacement. And next we leave the streets and look upward, where some of the strangest examples of urban construction can be found on the rooftops of buildings. Rooftop houses, China. In some Chinese cities, the search for space has produced architecture that looks almost unbelievable. On top of existing buildings, unusual structures have appeared where people have created additional rooms, offices and living spaces above the city streets. One of the most famous examples was a group of villa-like structures built on the rooftop of a shopping complex in Zhuzhou. From street level, the building looked ordinary, but from above, an entire collection of structures appeared to be sitting on its roof. It is a striking example of how rapidly growing cities can push construction in unexpected directions. When there is no room left on the ground, people start looking upward. But our next location takes urban density to an entirely different level, and this time the city no longer exists. Kowloon Walled City, Hong Kong. For decades, Hong Kong was home to a place unlike almost anywhere else on Earth, the Kowloon Walled City. Inside an incredibly small area, thousands of people lived in a maze of tightly packed buildings that seemed to grow into one enormous structure. Narrow corridors, dark passageways, tangled pipes, workshops, homes, and small businesses filled almost every available space. There was barely any open ground, and sunlight struggled to reach many of the deeper passages. Yet behind this chaotic appearance was a functioning community, where people worked, raised families, and built their lives in one of the most densely populated places ever recorded. The walled city was finally demolished in 1994, but its extraordinary history remains a powerful example of what happens when a city runs out of space. Bicycle graveyards, China. A few years ago, China experienced a massive bike-sharing boom. Companies placed millions of brightly colored bicycles across major cities, promising a cheap and convenient way to travel. But when many of these businesses collapsed or demand changed, enormous numbers of unwanted bicycles were left behind. Some ended up in huge storage areas and so-called bicycle graveyards, where thousands of bikes were piled on top of one another. What once represented the future of urban transportation suddenly became a massive waste problem. These mountains of abandoned bicycles became a striking reminder that even the technology designed to make cities cleaner can create an entirely different problem when growth happens faster than planning. Extreme train crowds, Bangladesh. In Bangladesh, especially during major holiday periods, railway stations can become overwhelmed as millions of people travel to visit their families. Trains can become so crowded that passengers may be forced to stand in packed coaches, while some people have historically climbed onto train roofs to find a place to travel. The scenes can look almost unbelievable, with passengers packed together as trains move through the countryside. But behind these dramatic images is a serious transportation and safety problem. Railway authorities have repeatedly tried to prevent rooftop travel because even a small mistake can have devastating consequences. It is a powerful reminder that when demand for affordable transportation becomes greater than the system's capacity, an ordinary journey home can turn into an extraordinary struggle. From the towering concrete blocks of Hong Kong to the abandoned skyscraper of Caracas, from the floating homes of Makoko to the mountains of garbage in Delhi, every place we explored tells a different story of life under extreme urban pressure. But behind these shocking images are millions of ordinary people, families, workers, and communities who continue to live, work, and survive in conditions most of us can hardly imagine. These places remind us that cities are not just made of buildings and roads. They are shaped by the people who call them home. So which of these urban environments shocked you the most? Let us know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this documentary, subscribe for more incredible places and stories from around the world.